Happiness springs from doing good and helping others. A house that has a library in it has a soul. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. Necessity is the mother of invention. Character is simply habit long continued. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination and life to everything. No wealth can ever make a bad man at peace with himself. The first and best victory is to conquer self. The measure of a man is what he does with power. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Only the dead have seen the end of war. Love is a serious mental disease. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. The worst form of injustice is pretended justice. Astronomy compels the soul to look upwards and leads us from this world to another. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Ignorance, the root and the stem of every evil. Those who tell the stories rule society. A grateful mind is a great mind which eventually attracts to itself great things. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. Philosophy is the highest music. Courage is knowing what not to fear. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The soul of man is immortal and imperishable. Geometry existed before creation. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. The wise man will want to be ever with him who is better than himself. Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. When men speak ill of thee, live so that nobody will believe them. I'm trying to think, don't confuse me with facts. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. Any man may easily do harm, but not every man can do good to another. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. True friendship can exist only between equals. You're my star, a stargazer too, and I wish that I were heaven, with a billion eyes, to look at you. There is truth in wine and children. Writing is the geometry of the soul. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. He was a wise man who invented God. Death is not the worst that can happen to men. You should not honor men more than truth. All the gold which is under or upon the earth is not enough to give in exchange for virtue. The soul takes flight to the world that is invisible, but there arriving she is sure of bliss and forever dwells in paradise. Of all the animals, the boy is the most unmanageable. If women are expected to do the same work as men, we must teach them the same things. As the builders say, the larger stones do not lie well without the lesser. The most virtuous are those who content themselves with being virtuous without seeking to appear so. There should exist among the citizens neither extreme poverty or again excessive wealth, for both are productive of great evil. Love is the pursuit of the whole. The highest reach of injustice is to be deemed just when you are not. For this feeling of wonder shows that you are a philosopher, since wonder is the only beginning of philosophy. Is there a perfect world? False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. Courage is a kind of salvation. Books are immortal sons, defying their sires. How could they see anything but the shadows if they were never allowed to move their heads? And we have made of ourselves living cesspools, and driven doctors to invent names for our diseases. I have hardly ever known a mathematician who was capable of reasoning. When there is an income tax, the just man will pay more and the unjust less on the same amount of income. Have you ever sensed that our soul is immortal and never dies? Poets utter great and wise things, which they do not themselves understand. Poetry is nearer to vital truth than history. Everything that deceives may be said to enchant. A dog has the soul of a philosopher.